Hello, my name is Curtis Kelly, and I'm currently an undergraduate student here at the University of Guelph. I would like to welcome you to the College of Social and Applied Human Sciences convocation ceremony this afternoon. The University of Guelph is honored by our graduands, and we take great pride in this convocation. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the proceedings today. The ceremonials used for conferring degrees have evolved over a millennium, and the gowns and hoods represent that history. In general, the gowns for the baccalaureate and magisteriate degrees are black, and the color of the hood is different for each degree program. The doctorates at the University of Guelph have a bright blue gown, and the honorary degrees are an even brighter color. The University of Guelph crest that you can see on the curtains behind me, and shown on the cover of the convocation program, also represents our specific history. The emblems in the crest show links with the royal city of Guelph through the white stallion above, the connection to the liberal arts through the book, to the sciences through the astrolabe, and our connection to abundance and agriculture through the cornucopia. The University of Guelph motto, Rerum cognoscens causis, is a quote from Virgil. It is variously translated to be either, happy is the one who is able to ascertain the reason of things, or perhaps to know the meaning of things. The procession of people into the hall is also influenced by ancient tradition. The piper will herald the start of the procession of graduands, the students who are coming to graduate today. This will be followed by the arrival of the mace leading the platform party. The mace is a symbol of authority at the university and will be carried by the beadle. In medieval universities, a beadle was chosen by the instructor to work as an assistant. Today, the beadle is the ceremonial office of Senate. Following the beadle and mace is the chancellor, president, members of the administration and the honorees, fellows of the university, members of the board, senate, and members of faculty and staff. The degrees will be conferred in the order that you see in the program. The degrees are separated by categories representing the specific degree being awarded within the college. The reader of names will present scholars to the chancellor and president. As the names of each student are called, the beadle will place the hood over the recipient's shoulders. The moment will also be recorded on video, and technology willing, there will be a simultaneous live cast of the event to allow family members and friends to watch from a distance. The chancellor and president will greet each student at center stage, and a photograph will be taken. We understand the joy and excitement accompanying such an auspicious occasion, but we ask that you hold your applause until each group of graduands has crossed the stage. Once all the degrees are conferred and cheered for, the chancellor will close the ceremony and a recession will play. Please remain standing during the recessional until all the platform party has processed out of the hall. Our colleagues from Alumni Affairs are hosting a special social media program developed especially for convocation. Please share your photos, memories, and advice with graduating students by joining us on social media and using the hashtag GuelphGrad. Finally, may I be the first person to congratulate the graduands on their various successes and offer my congratulations to the family and friends who are here to support them. Welcome to convocation at the University of Guelph.
Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
I invite you to remain standing for the invocation. On this day of recognized achievement, we pause and reflect on our place in this world. We acknowledge the Attawandaran people on whose traditional territory the University of Guelph now resides, and we offer our respect to their neighbors, the Haudenosaunee, the Anishinaabe, and Métis. On this day that marks the end of a journey, we give thanks for the friendships that have been forged along the way. We are grateful for all those who have supported us, faculty, administration, mentors, and families. I invite you, each in your own way, to take a moment of silence, to reflect, to recognize that for which you are grateful, to offer a prayer. As we step into a new tomorrow, may the knowledge that we gained here be coupled with wisdom and infused with compassion and clothed with humility, that we might contribute to the flourishing of all humanity, that we might embrace the forgotten, enhance the sustainability of all things, and fully discover what it means to be human. May grace and peace abound. You may be seated.
Mr. Chancellor, members of our Board of Governors, and particularly welcome here to Mr. Dick Freeborough, the Chair of our Board of Governors, honorary fellows and faculty of the university, families and friends of the graduands and graduands. Welcome to the celebration of convocation at the University of Guelph. My name is Franco Vaccarino, and I have the honor of serving as the President and Vice Chancellor of this great university, and I have the privilege today of welcoming all of you here to convocation. I also extend a particular welcome to this afternoon's special guest, Andrea Buchholz, who will receive the John Bell Award, and she'll be introduced to you formally in a moment. Now, as we begin today's convocation ceremony, let me offer a few congratulatory remarks. First off, graduands, this is your big day. You've worked hard, you've persevered, and you've made it. Well done and well deserved. Now, a big part of this day is about you, but it's not all about you. So before we go on, graduates, there's a group of individuals here who I'm sure you will agree deserve your special attention. And they are those family members and friends who have supported you from the sidelines throughout your time here at Guelph. So graduates, this is an opportunity for you to perhaps stand up and give a shout out to all those family and friends that are with you today and who've supported you over the years. Please. I got to tell you, it's a great photo op from up here. It's terrific. Now, in preparing this welcome, I reflected on the address I gave at my installation as President and Vice Chancellor last fall. And a central part of my message then was about how this university has prepared you, our graduates, for this very moment and for the years that will follow. So let me share with you some of my thoughts from that installation speech last fall. For those who know me, they'll know that I'm an optimist, and I'm an optimist by nature in many ways, and in many ways we are living through what might be remembered as one of the most exciting and important periods throughout history. Our world today is marked by incredible advances in life sciences and the physical sciences, in information and communications technology, and in the sheer volume of discovery and knowledge. And through all this change, advances in the social sciences, the arts, and the humanities test our belief systems. They challenge our constructs against new and evolving societal contexts. We're seeing isolated disciplines and subject matter coming together in fresh and exciting ways, like music and computer technology, healthcare, robotic engineering, materials science, and agriculture. More and more, those connections make knowledge more accessible and more abundant than ever. They also effectively shrink the gap between the generation of knowledge and the application of knowledge. In our fast-paced and interconnected world, the distance has narrowed, and it continues to narrow between today and tomorrow. And that, graduates, presents challenges, but it also presents great opportunities for you and for all of us. So what are the human attributes that will allow us to thrive in such dynamic times? Well, I would suggest that they include the ability as individuals, and I would say also as a university, for us to adapt and to readapt in a healthy way to uncertainty, to adapt to uncertainty and change in healthy ways. And by adaptation, I don't mean passive habituation. I'm referring to the act of very consciously and deliberately redefining and thinking about ourselves based on what is going on around us. Now, when faced with change, people adapt. Sometimes we adapt in healthy ways. Sometimes we adapt in less than healthy ways. The opportunity for you, our graduates, is to adapt to change in healthy ways. To undertake thoughtful analysis that will help you find what I like to call the upside of uncertainty and change. Uncertainty often gets a bad rap, but there's an upside to uncertainty and change. And this provides hope, it provides inspiration, and it provides the basis for discovery. It's about taking uncertainty and change and turning it into a positive, into something special. You've spent the past few years of your life studying here at the University of Guelph, and an important part of our mission as a university has been to provide our students, you, our graduates, with the tools to successfully adapt and navigate through the complexities and dynamics of a modern society. And we've tried to help instill an ability to adapt to, and I would say actually to thrive in, tomorrow's ever-changing world. Your experiences at the University of Guelph have prepared you for that. In your years here, you've had the opportunity to learn, to witness world-renowned breakthroughs, and to grow personally, an important part of your experience here. And what you've learned, I would suggest, goes well beyond teaching subject matter strictly and towards the process of learning. Learning to learn, adaptation, creativity. As successful graduates, many of you will blend knowledge, mixing and matching ideas from separate disciplines, separate areas of studies, separate areas of knowledge. Your years here at Guelph have given you both the analytical skills, but also the creative skills to apply that knowledge in innovative ways. So, as you enter this next exciting stage of your lives, I encourage you all to draw on your University of Guelph experiences as learners and also as members of a very special community, and to bring the very best that you have to offer to every experience. Embrace the opportunities that arrive. Look to create your own opportunities. And also, importantly, dare to dream. Dare to dream and to reach for a higher sense of purpose. And find new and fresh ways to take what you've learned here to engage with and also make a difference in your world. Thank you very much, and again, congratulations to all of you. Well done.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you Andrea Buchholz, recipient of the John Bell Award. The John Bell Award was established to honor Professor John Bell, who served the University of Guelph with distinction from 1972 to 1987. It recognizes outstanding contributions to university education. Mr. Chancellor, it's my pleasure to present this year's recipient of the John Bell Award, Professor Andrea C. Buchholz. Professor Andrea Buchholz is a leader in education and has transformed experiential learning in applied human nutrition through program development and knowledge mobilization. She has significantly improved student outcomes and their overall learning experience. Andrea Buchholz is an enthusiastic and innovative instructor dedicated to furthering her professional development and the education of students. She has been instrumental in designing curriculum and learning outcomes in applied human nutrition, as well as developing initiatives and programs focused on enhancing student performance in the classroom. Andrea is dedicated to empowering students through excellence in course design and delivery to facilitate student learning. She is a tireless mentor and fosters student achievement in multiple ways. She was actively involved in the creation of courses involving applied clinical skills, including the first course in Canada to involve nutrition-focused physical examination. Similarly, Andrea is committed to supporting graduate students and the professoriate in enhancing their skills as educators by promoting excellence in teaching at the University of Guelph and beyond. Professor Buchholz joined the Department of Family Relations and Applied Nutrition in 2004. She has served as chair of the Applied Human Nutrition Curriculum Committee and as an academic lead in the Educational Leadership in Teaching Excellence program at the University of Guelph, as well as chairing the Ontario Confederation of University Faculty Association Awards Committee. Her contributions have been recognized by a number of awards, including the Leaders Opportunity Fund Award from Canada Foundation for Innovation, the 2010 award, the Ontario Confederation of University Faculty Association, and twice was the recipient of the University of Guelph Excellence and Innovation in Teaching Award. Andrea Buchholz is an exceptional classroom teacher, a dedicated educator, and a mentor to students and colleagues alike. For her innovative impact on experiential learning and learning at the University of Guelph, Professor Andrea Buchholz is a most deserving recipient of the 2015 John Bell Award.
I would now like to invite Andrea Buchholz to deliver the convocation address.
Thank you so much, Professor McMartin, but Claire is also my friend, so I have to say thank you, Claire. And Mr. Chancellor and distinguished faculty members, graduands, family, friends, thank you so much for the opportunity to deliver the convocation address. I was saying to some colleagues earlier today, you know, I can teach without getting really nervous. I can deliver a research presentation without getting nervous, but I probably got about 2 to 2.5 hours sleep last night because I was really worried about sounding wise and inspiring. So even if you don't think I sound very wise or inspiring, please just clap and then I'll sleep tonight. So it'll all be good. So just show up, say yes, and fail often. These are some of the principles that underlie the art form known as improvisational theater. So I'm going to share some of these principles with you, or explore them a little bit more with you, and just take a look at why they're important, not only in the context of improv, but also in the context of everyday life. So in addition to being a faculty member at the University of Guelph, I'm also somewhat, perhaps oddly, a comedic improviser with an improv troupe. So let me ask you, by a show of hands, how many are familiar with improvisational theater? If I say improv, do you know what that is? Okay, so about half to 2/3 of you know what that is. So if you didn't raise your hand, improv is unscripted and spontaneous storytelling in which improvisers create a scene on the spot and in real time based on audience suggestions. So the host of a show might come out and ask the audience members, you know, what's your favorite room in the house? So if I were to ask you, what's your favorite room in the house, you would naturally respond, kitchen. You know what? That's the #1 thing we always get. People love kitchen, and I'm a dietitian, so it's very apropos that somehow it revolves around food. What if I asked you, I don't know, what did you want to be when you grew up? You would say? A unicorn. We should all have goals. That is the message of today. And magically, improvisers will create a scene about kitchens or unicorns right before your very eyes. So that brings me to the very first principle of improv: just show up. So let's say, we'll go with the unicorn. I love that one. That's one I'm not sure I've gotten in about 10 years of improvising, but there's a very good chance, if we were to receive that offer from an audience, that none of us would really understand the intricate dance underlying what it's like to be a unicorn. But that doesn't stop us from creating a scene. So we may not do unicorns justice, but the scene has the potential to be successful because as improvisers, we know all we have to do is get up on stage and say or do something to get the scene started. So similarly, think of the opportunities that life may present to you, but that you may be too scared to try because you don't know anything about it, or you're worried you're not going to do as well as you would like. So maybe it's a job ad to which you're afraid to respond. What if I'm not good enough? Or maybe you've never run a marathon. There's no way I can do that. I can't even run around the block. But what if you did respond to that job ad? What if you enrolled in a running training program and actually completed a marathon? You don't have to run across the finish line. You don't even have to walk. You can crawl across the finish line. The point is, just show up and try it. And that brings me to the second principle of improv: say yes. Nothing stops an improv scene dead in its tracks quite like an improviser saying no to another. Let's go to the beach. No. Let's play a game of chess. No. With just one word, these scenes have nowhere to go. They have an infinitely greater chance of success if improvisers respond in the positive. Yes, and let's bring a shovel and pail and build a huge sandcastle. Or yes, and let's use mom's garden gnomes as chess pieces. So think of how many times you might say no to something. A friend invites you for a cup of coffee. Your response, well, no, I just don't have the time. What if your partner suggests taking a wine tasting course together? Your response, I couldn't. I don't know the first thing about wine. People will judge me. Saying no in an improv scene is what we call blocking. Saying no in real life can mean the same thing. So say yes. Who knows where it could take you? And finally, this is my personal favorite: fail. Fail often. I am not too proud to share with you that I have improvised in, and indeed I have been responsible for, a stunning number of unsuccessful improv scenes, some of them breathtakingly awful, and the looks of pity and boredom on people's faces, often accompanied by a gentle tilt of the head. But it's okay, because for every one of these disastrous scenes, there's a great scene right around the corner, one that picks you right back up and makes you feel alive for just having tried again. So what if you did take that wine tasting course and you finished without really understanding the difference between a Cabernet Sauvignon and a Merlot? So what, you say, they're both red. And you'd be right. So try things. Try things and fail. Often fail spectacularly. In the words of Keith Johnstone, a famous improviser under whom I've had the privilege of studying, we all have to make 1,000 mistakes before we get a grip on what it is we're doing. So get out there and start making them. Just show up, say yes, and fail. Fail often. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2015.
Thank you very much, Professor Buchholz, for reminding me that I've been doing it right by failing so often. So it's a good thing. It turns out well. So thank you. I think these are very inspiring words for everyone who's convocating today. So thank you very much. Well, scholars, this is your moment. So will the graduating class please rise? Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of the University of Guelph that they may be admitted to their several and various degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the University of Guelph, I hereby accept you for admission to your various and several degrees, with all the rights, privileges, and obligations appertaining thereto.
Now will the scholars, will the graduating class please be seated? Once, by the way, I actually forgot to say that, and everybody stood up and stayed up. Anyway, so see, failing is a good thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is John Smithers. I'm the interim dean of the College of Social and Applied Human Science. We're about to begin presenting your scholars to you. I know that there'll be a lot of happiness, a lot of joy, perhaps some astonishment in the audience today. Please feel free to express those sentiments as your special somebody crosses the stage. But if we could ask, please, that we hold our collective applause until each of the cohort groups, the graduating groups, has gone through, and I will give you a signal as to when those times occur. Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Social and Applied Human Sciences that they may be admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Applied Science Honors Program. Bethany Grace Anderson. Taylor Barbara Askew with distinction. Barbara Casma Baird with distinction. Nicole Violet Balzan. Claire Billick with distinction. Samantha Michelle Blaze with distinction. Carolyn Boyley. Danielle Amanda Boudreau with distinction. Christine Elizabeth Bradshaw. Lindsay Elizabeth Bredner. Rochelle Dawn Brown Campbell. Bethany Carol Beisma. Robin Cameron. Althea Louisa Caposilvan. Maureen Ann Carney with distinction. Sylvia Sila. Trista Chan. Amanda Dawn Connolly with distinction. Laura Catherine Coraza. Alyssa Kataya. Michelle Dale. Riley DeForest with distinction. Lisa Brittany Dyer with distinction. Emily Catherine Eichner. Kirsty Marie Fisher. Allison Rebecca Florence. Victoria Antoinette Formusa. Kelsey Jean Gann with distinction. Chelsea Margaret Gomes. Michelle Sydney Goodman with distinction. Jamie Francine Greenlees. Veronica Ray Hale. Anique Hanning. Erin Elizabeth Hartfixen. Laura Grace Harvey with distinction. Faith Helder with distinction. Elise Jennifer Hodgins. Alexandra Chantel Holt with distinction. Shao Yun Huang with distinction. Jillian Christine Ingrabelli with distinction. Julie Victoria Ingraselli with distinction. Catherine Ip with distinction. Charlotte Jones. Samantha Lee Jones. Rachel Shea Kearns. Danielle Wilhelmina Kennedy. Shannon Elizabeth King with distinction. Carly Kathleen Laborde. Jada Renelle Latour with distinction. I was waiting for that. It's a pretty well-behaved crowd today. Kathleen Suzanne Lozon with distinction. Brianna Catherine Lazich. Ashlyn Louise Leonard with distinction. Sydney Robin Lougheed with distinction. Samantha Jo Marie Lynch. Alexis Emily McDonald. Kaylin Patricia Martin. Mariah Jean Healy Martin with distinction. Andrea Felipe Batista Martins. Geneva Mather Dyer with distinction. Julie Marie McCaffrey. Chelsea McPherson. Maria Mekalopoulos. Claire Marie Jane Milton. Allison Catherine Morris. Vincent Man Fong Ing, with distinction. Emily Eunice Nickel, with distinction. Sarah Ruth Nyland, with distinction. Caitlin Beatrice Osborne, with distinction. Deborah Molly Pearl, with distinction. Larissa Pilipek. Lauren Raymer, with distinction. Samantha Eve Parks Robertson. Mayreed Ann Rogers. Tiffany Danielle Shebesh, with distinction. Jessica Scowen, with distinction. Rebecca Lee Shoddy. Sarah Smith. Pauline Jeong Song, with distinction. Ashley Nicole Starcevic. Caitlin Stenzel. Joanna Stolla, with distinction. Rachel Elizabeth Suter. Gee, I don't get any hugs. Lauren Giselle Taylor. Caitlin Lee Murphy Tersini. Holly Mae Thomas, with distinction. Carice Marie Thompson. Megan Vanderdolen, with distinction. Caitlin Vanderleest, with distinction. Janelle Jocelyn Marie Wagner. Michelle Weatherbury with distinction. Jessica Ann Virginia Weaver. Kelly Margaret Welsh. Paige Isabel Whitley. I apologize. Allison May Witten with distinction. Caitlin Nicole Wingrove with distinction. Catherine Elizabeth Wise. Jessica Young Yao Wong with distinction. Samantha Nancy Rose Wong with distinction. Rebecca Michelle Kade Yoshida. Jocelyn Young. Madison Zeglin. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating these scholars. Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Social and Applied Human Sciences that they may be admitted to the degree Bachelor of Arts Honours Program. Matthew Alexander Burns with distinction. Jessica Jean Chick with distinction. Emily Desaulniers. Christine Catherine Dobrick. Christina Alyssa English. Guess who's buying dinner? Michelle Kaylin Grover. Raman Kaur Hunjan. Celine Jasuri. Ashton Joss. Sukhjan Singh Lail. Linda LaRose. Stephanie Alfreda Liscombe. Michelle McMorris. Sapir Miriam Negrin with distinction. Tori Nicole Noble. Pietro Paletta with distinction. Marie Robertson. Shelby Taylor Salverson. Tarnjeet Singh Sandhu. Kayla Seaton. Lauren Francesca Silvatelli. Sarah Duzan Sawinski with distinction. Julia Shanna Watson. Caleb Edward Wolke. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating these scholars. Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Social and Applied Human Sciences that they may be admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts General Program. Victoria Ida Catella. Julia Denesi. Olga Donchak. Carolina Arena Klepka. Kristen LeBlanc. Jessica Elizabeth Lucas. Jessica Caitlin Neugebauer. Talia Peoni. Shannon Elizabeth Regan. Matthew Ruzak. Chelsea Smith. Please join me in congratulating these scholars. Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Social and Applied Human Science that they may be admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Science honors program. Tanya Fedrella Galindo. Matthew Archer Gilman. Connor Donald Shanahan. Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you this scholar from the College of Social and Applied Human Science that she may be admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Science in Environmental Sciences, the honors program. Emily Joy Inhofe, with distinction. Please join me in congratulating all of our scholars today.
Mr. Chancellor, I would ask you to confer the various and several degrees on the graduates listed in the program but unable to be present at this ceremony.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the University of Guelph, I confer the various and several degrees in absentia on the graduates not present.
Well, graduates, you did it. Congratulations. Well done. Well done. Well, congratulations. As you can imagine, we're all very, very proud of your accomplishments here at the University of Guelph. And we'll continue, of course, to be interested to see how the foundations that you have developed here as a student will support you in the years to come in your own futures. And we'd like to make sure that we celebrate those achievements and successes with you. And so to that point, we really do hope that you stay in touch. And remember that you're always welcome here, even though you've graduated and you were a student for a short time, but you are a Griffin forever. So make sure you stay in touch with your alma mater. And it's great to have you all here and look forward to the future. Now, following convocation, Dr. John Smithers, our acting dean of the College of Social and Applied Human Sciences, will host a reception for all the graduates and their guests in Quilman Hall. And this really is an opportunity to congratulate the graduates, mingle, and I hope that many of you can arrange to attend that event, and look forward to many of you being there. Now, a couple of housekeeping items, if I could. Once you've taken all your photographs, graduates, if you could please return your gowns and hoods. I know you love those gowns and hoods. You look great in them, and people have a tendency sometimes of they keep walking. But if you could hang a right and drop them off at the tent before you keep going, that would be great. As well, we host 21 convocation ceremonies this week, and waiting outside is the next group of families who are eager to see their graduates cross the stage. So if you could please actually exit through the doors at this end of the hall, the front end, we'll be able to prepare the hall for the next group. So thank you very much. Once again, congratulations. And as tradition has it, the Chancellor has the last word. Mr. Chancellor.
Convocation is dismissed.
Well,